in New York City, LTC Live, hosted by Todd Wharton, and today's special guest, homeless activist, Sobeyra Almonte of the Sobeyra Almonte International Foundation, book author of American Thug, Once a Snitch, and the movie Gang Unit, Ike Julz, and of course, the celebrity photographer, Barry Morgenstein. And here's your host, Todd Wharton!
Welcome to LTC Live. How's my audience doing tonight? You guys doing all right? Thank you for coming out because that weather was killer this morning. I'm glad that the sun came out. We're having a good time and enough people came out to support the show. And I'm just humble and happy to be here. But listen, a lot of stuff's been going on in the news. So this week, something I read about that was pretty unreal. So a 17-year-old in Florida, in a Florida high school, was asked to put on Band-Aids because apparently right above here on her breast, it was affecting a lot of male students in high school. So the dean literally asked her to put Band-Aids on her breast because the whole story is that not too far long ago, she actually burned herself. So she didn't want to wear a bra to school. So she felt she would wear a gray sweater to school because if she wore a bra, it would chafe and it would hurt. But obviously, a lot of people thought that was not that great because a lot of male students were having a problem with that. So the dean, which I'm still pretty astounded by today, asked her to put on another white shirt underneath and then jump up and down to make sure that her breasts weren't bouncing. Now, I don't even know what to say about that. But honestly, now just keep into consideration that as a dean, it's in the same field as basically a principal and a headmaster. But in this case, there's another word that comes to mind as a title. It starts with master, but I think I'll get it eventually. So, yeah. Anyway, so in other news, yeah. It was a little crazy. So in other news, it is springtime again. And right now in springtime in New York City, a lot of us are getting ready for barbecues, we're getting ready for outdoor parties, and obviously comes loud music. Now, what I don't understand is, it's like, how come everywhere we go, somebody's got to drive down the street blasting their music, like we actually called them up and be like, listen, when you come down at 6 in the morning, please blast the music, because I want to hear that. And people are just showing up saying, look at me, look at me. But on another note, there was one car that actually got a lot of attention from a lot of people. And you can just see by the views of all these different people, basically like their reactions, right? Now, when this car actually came down my street, the two ladies literally just bounced out and said, yo, Barry Manilow, bitches. And we're just like, so New York City at its best, springtime, so thank you for that. But last but not least in the news, have you ever noticed, and I noticed a lot of things, how the way people wear pants today? Now right here, as you're seeing two extinguished gentlemen in Hollywood. You're seeing Denzel Washington and you're seeing Clint Eastwood. They're wearing nice pants up to the waist, looking really good, classy. But things have definitely changed in wearing pants. So let's take this gentleman, for example. Basically, I call this the hold up, all right? Now, when you get to a certain age, instead of just wearing what I guess men call a bro, which we got, basically from the Seinfeld thing, I mean, why not just pull your pants up all the way to the top? Because obviously that's not too noticeable at all. Just like, let's do that. Now, the next, obviously, thing that we're looking for is called the lowrider. All right. Now this is kind of funny because most women do appreciate a nice-looking man who wears $300 pair of jeans, but likes to show off $10 pair of boxers. And now, in other words, in another name, this is basically called business casual. All right, in the world. Now, the next thing that we have here is basically called the crack of dawn. All right, which we've seen all over the place. Now, I don't know what's more disturbing, that I'm actually standing next to somebody in the supermarket just looking at their butt, or I'm trying to decide whether the deli meat that I bought actually went bad. So it's pretty disgusting. And then of course right here, this is just basically somebody on crack. I mean, so there you go with that right there. So we definitely have an amazing show today. I want to welcome my first guest later on in the show. We're going to have Ike Julz, Arthur, that's going to be here in a little bit. I'm going to have photographer to the stars, Mr. Barry Morgenstein, is in the house today. And then, obviously, I'm honored to have this lady is a homeless activist. She's an amazing woman. I can't wait to tell her story. Miss Sobeyra Almonte is in the house today. So we'll be right back with LTC Live Weekly Update. So Sarah, take it away, man. Welcome back. So of course, every week we got the LTC weekly update that we're doing today, the live weekly update. So let's start it off. Now, the first thing is tune in next week that we're on. And next week we're going to have comedian Guy Betancourt, who was recently seen on the LTC stand-up comedy show. Did a great job there last week. The founder of the DBBA Entertainment, Mr. David Bowles, who's also the booking agent for Ice-T as well, will be in the house next week. And then finally, we have legendary R&B bassist, can't wait to have him here, Tinker Barfield, to whom has worked with the legendary Luther Vandross, Lou Rawls, and obviously Ashford and Simpson as well is going to be in the house next week. So I'm excited to have these guys here as well. And obviously, if you want to be a part of the live studio audience, just follow the ticker underneath, go to localtownconnect.com or localtownconnect.eventbrite.com and register to be a part of our audience. We'd love to have you here. Now let's get right to it. All right, so this Thursday, we're pretty excited. The premiere of the LTC Cinema Series, that will be this Thursday, April 19, 2018, and it's going to be at the Village East Cinema. Red carpet starts at 6, showtime starts at 7. Please arrive early. That's going to be featuring, again, the web series The Ab and also the web series Single Man Problems, a double feature written and directed by Bobby Ashley. It's a great guy. I can't wait to have him there. And then we're also going to be featuring a full-length film this time, and we're honored to have Betrayals. Betrayals is written by Derek Thomas. That's going to be featuring cameo roles with Robin Thicke, Capadonna of the Wu-Tang Clan, the original Spinderella from Salt and Pepper will be in that movie as well. And we'll also feature who we had on last week. Comedian Gianmarco Ceresi is going to make his way during the break, and he's going to do a 5-minute skit to get the crowd back going also. So I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah. Give it up to him. We also got TV show miniseries that will display trailers of all sorts from radio and TV talk shows, web series, and of course feature films that want to get seen. So now we're having a trailer segment to the show as well. And we're also going to be featuring Karma Bitch in the episode called The Screamer, written and directed by me. It's my first directing debut, starring starring Angela Starr and Phil Kors. Sorry, Angela. And we're excited about that as well. And for the next cinema series, make sure you submit to Film Freeway, your web series and films as well. And of course, get your tickets for that show at localtownconnect.eventbrite.com. We're more than welcome to have you all there. Okay. So, yeah. All right, So because we got the LTC Indie Artist Showcase coming up in M15, that's going to be Sunday, April 29th. That runs from 6 to 11:30. Because our audience is here today, we are going to comp them all free tickets to the LTC Indie Artist Showcase. That's going to feature my boy Mike Hans from the Boot Camp Click and also Cheryl LaBelle from the original hip-hop all-female group Sequence that featured Gwendolyn Shislam and Angie Stone. So we're excited about that show as well. Again, tickets are on sale at Eventbrite, localtownconnect.eventbrite.com. And again, it's going to be at the bottom of your screen. We are going to welcome other acts, Code C, Solaris, Unlocking the Truth, and Dance Crew Maniacs. And just in today, we just locked up Jay Cavalier, Max Brown, The Captain, and Trends is going to be a part of that show as well. So I can't wait to have them there also. And again, we're accepting submissions for the May and June show. Just go to Reverb Nation, that's located on our site. Submit your products, and we'd be more than happy to see if Reverb does select you in the delegation process. And be aware that Sam Ash is a part of this showcase, and they will supply the backline to all our performers who need some help with the instruments as well. So that's going to be a great show. So next up, of course, the LTC Mixer went along great last week, but the next one is going to be May 4th, which is a Friday night right here at Ray's New York. That's from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. That welcomes all arts and entertainment in the industry to come together and always network your net worth with LTC. And obviously, you can register on Eventbrite as well. Again, next month, we do have the LTC stand-up comedy. Last week, we had a great show at the Broadway Comedy Club. A lot of comedians did a great job. Audience was great. Crowd loved it. And we're looking forward to the next one. We're going to be there at Broadway Comedy Club. It's going to be on Thursday, May 10th, and that'll be from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Pernell Holloway, co-produced by Hollowhead Entertainment, and featuring the LTC House Jazz Funk Band, Sensei, which killed it last week. We can't wait to have them back as well. And this month, it's going to be featuring Kevin Goatee, Oscar Calazos, Sekou Ali, and Tommy Passivasi. And again, get your tickets on eventbrite.com. We hope to have all you there as well. And if you want to be a comedian, yes, thank you. Thank you as well. And if you want to be a comedian on the next show, submit to info@localtownconnect.com. Pastor Mike will be out soon. We're working on a venue as well that's going to be co-produced by Supreme Bars, which is basically created by Roberto DeJesus and Adrian Alliance. We're looking for a venue now, and that'll be announced later on in the year. And then, of course, the One Love L's Up holiday concert for peace and unity. That's going on Thanksgiving Eve. That's going to have a full red carpet. It's going to have LTC Presents a Red Carpet Christmas Village. That will consist of Santa sleighs, human snow globes, elves, Santa, the whole nine. It's going to have a food, coat, and toy drive, as well as a holiday raffle. And we do have a lot going on with that. We are excited to announce that the winner of the voting pool for the Indie Artist Showcase, one artist will be able to perform in Times Square, voted upon their peers, as well as one comedian is going to be able to perform in Times Square as well, and we're happy about that. Also, we have a lot of companies on board with all that's what's going on with One Love L's Up, and we're going to show the world why One Love exists in New York City, because at the end of the day, we're all here, so we're happy about this event as well. Obviously, for more information, go to localtownconnect.com and you can register. That event is free to attend. And we also have a DJ dance party, a full fashion show called Ice the Runway, which I'm happy to announce that the original Spinderella will be one of my executive producers of that show, and one more to be named at a later date. Now, we do have the LTC 2019 Awards, the first award show to present awards to all arts and entertainment, including comedians, stunt people, photographers, the whole nine, because this industry, unfortunately, doesn't have an award show. So I think it's about time that we get this industry a real award show. Not only for celebrities, but yes, up and comers as well. We'll have more about that information going on our website as well. And now, of course, last but not least, the LTC membership program. That gives everybody the opportunity to get their genres all on one website. It'll also give you access to the LTC store as well as the LTC classifieds. It's $25 a month or $200 a year, and you get 50% off of all LTC hosted events. So we all welcome all artists and entertainers and business people to join the membership program. because at the end of the day, the build business is about building relationships with people, and that's what LTC is all about. So right now, yes, definitely. So we're going to wrap that up right now. That is the LTC Live Weekly Update. Now stay tuned as we're about to go into the break. You're going to enjoy a great promo of our first cut. You're going to enjoy a great promo from our first guest coming up, Ike Julz, and it's going to give you a little taste of the interview that we're about to have in a couple of minutes. So enjoy the promo, and we'll be right back with my first guest, Ike Julz.
Step out of the car, please. Yo, watch this car. Shoot him, man.
That's my own fucking door, nigga. I ain't no woman.
Jason Storm, a.k.a. Black Knowledge. It's 4 Horsemen, buck 50 crew. I've been wanting to meet you face to face and let you know who I am.
Who are
The special agent that's gonna be investigating you and this buck 50 crew right here. I want all y'all to get familiar with me in their faces, okay? Yo, get him, bring him, yo, bring him soon,
Get out there, man. What's wrong with you, man? Fuck you down with you, man. Nothing. Can't be serious.
What did this guy here? I'm looking for
Dog,
one of
you
these.
serious? My book, dog?
Y'all can
I
go
can't
now,
get it
yo.
back?
It's my book now.
Your book, right?
This book stays sold out, yo. It's my copy now.
Whatever.
Damn, always some drama with this American thug book.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So my first guest of the evening, is a great gentleman. He's been through a lot of trials and tribulations. He has written a book called American Thug that's getting a lot of press right now, and definitely honored to have him on the show. Everybody, please welcome author Ike Julz to the stage. Ike, how you doing, man? All right. So I read the book, man. It's really controversial, very deep. There's obviously a lot of personal things going on in here that made you write this book. And the great thing about it is you didn't leave anything out. All right, so it's going to make a lot more people get to know who you are. But let's start about the one thing that I noticed that really made you write this book. I know your mom went through something. So you want to get into that a little bit to let these people know where this came from?
Yeah, my mom was raped like 9 months before I was conceived. And she never told me about it until I was like 15 years old when I started questioning and asking her about my father. And she told me if I wanted to get to know who my father is, I gotta go to the 81st precinct and ask them about the mother effer who raped her.
Oh man. So how did you take, like when did she tell you this?
During an argument.
How old were you?
15.
So let me ask you something. Obviously that's a lot to take.
It's a whole lot.
What was the whole emotional state like? Was it more shocked or was it more anger that somebody, father or not, took advantage of a woman that no man should ever take advantage of, ever?
I mean, it's different from me, but then again, now I actually come to terms with how she went through it.
Okay.
But I'm the victim, well, I'm not the victim, I'm the actual product of that rape. So there's a lot of things that I try to explain to her that I go through personally, like me looking into mirrors. Who do I see? Do I see my mom's child or do I see the person who raped her? You know, so that's the psychology anguish that you go through being that.
I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine what you're thinking, but you know what the best thing about what happened? You have to take every positive outlook on anything negative that happens to you in your life, okay? Even though that went down that way, at the end of the day, obviously your mom created a wonderful human being right now that wrote this dope book, and I'm actually happy that you're here today, whether it was from a rape victim or not. So give it up to this guy for even doing that.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, man. So, you know, obviously, you know, we give it up to your mom for raising a gentleman, but let's talk about the gentleman himself. So, where did you write this book?
When I was incarcerated.
Okay.
When I was incarcerated, there was a lot of time on my hand, and then I realized that an inner beast was building up. When you become incarcerated and you have a lot of time to sit down, some of your past demons start to build up, and you start facing them, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. At the same time, I was violent in there, meaning I was doing a lot of fighting when I was in there, so I had a lot of box time, isolation time.
Right.
So the only way that I can actually display that anger was a pen and a paper, which was a pencil, because you can have pens in there.
Of course, right, yeah.
And then when I started with the first page of American Thug, even before it was American Thug, and it just went into about 500 something more pages, so I basically bled on the paper of everything I was feeling inside from that actual being told that I'm a child of a rape.
And it's all right here.
It's all right there. Now look, don't get it twisted. That book is fiction.
Right.
It's just got a lot of what I call literary metaphors.
Of course.
Because I didn't want to put too much real stuff in there, you know.
Of course not. You want to make it where it's believable, but it's also readable at the same time. Because unfortunately today, people like more sci-fi and anything fake than they do about the real world. And but that's why we're here today. That's what the real world's all about. So tell me, is there a situation in this book that is real that you want to discuss? That because I know you're building a web series out of this.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than a web series now because everybody's starting to pick up on Gang Unit. But then American Thug keep intertwining. That's why you see the commercial.
Right, yeah.
That's the characters from both.
Yeah, by the way, that promo was great.
Thanks
and
a lot.
I'm glad that you brought that on here because sometimes during the interview, it's kind of hard to depict what the person's actually doing. So that's why we chose to put your promo on there. I wanted to let the people out there in the world know what you're all about. It's very hardcore driven, but it definitely states a point. And which is great. Now you do have sequels coming out for this thing, right?
Yeah, that's gonna come out in about the sequel, part 2 to American Thug. I say about 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Wow. How old are you now?
I'm 36.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I
You're
feel like
36.
I'm 19.
Yeah. Well, I'm jealous. I'm not 36.
It's 10 years from the release day. I remember I released that a few years ago. It just keeps selling and stuff.
Well, I've never been incarcerated.
Don't.
I don't think I could survive in jail. Come on, look at me, man. They look at me one thing, they have a lineup for me. I'm not even going near there. But
do what I do.
I do know that when you're alone and you do something wrong, whether you're being punished or not, it does make you think. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, how can I spend my time in here, like detention or anything else? You can't compare the two. But what I admire about the thing is you took that time and reflected on why you got in there. And we don't even have to go into that, but you reflected on that time and said, you know what? I need to do something with my life while I get out. Because all the sad stories that I could tell people, all people trying to feel bad for me, at the end of the day, that's in your past, it happened. You took your past and you made it what you are today. You made yourself a gentleman. And I love that. That's one of the reasons why later on after we get you, we did a dedication to Tupac. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you look at him as an American thug or not, Tupac was a gentleman, a family man, he was real, and you're the same thing. So if there's any place online that we can find you, yeah.
Thanks to my lawyer, Keisha Harley. If you hashtag Team Side United, that's gonna come up because we own that hashtag. We had to pay a little bit more for it though, but anytime you hashtag Team Side United, everything under that. That's how you can purchase that book, because from there, you can get in contact with the company directly.
Right. You guys are on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, Instagram, Ike Julz, Facebook, Ike Julz, Team Side United. We just got that up and running on Instagram too.
Okay. When can we see the first web series coming out?
Let me talk to Steve about that. But
Yeah.
because the scenes that we got already done is calling for people that really want to see gang unit. It's just that it takes money. I don't want to do a regular web series, whereas the norm is what you see out there on YouTube. I want stunts, you know, good acting coach and stuff like that. Good
So
props.
why don't we promo here right now? Where can people reach you if they want to be a part of this series?
Team Side United gang unit.
Team Side United Gang Unit?
Yeah, gang
Okay.
unit. Or you could just see me in these magazines too. Fast Sweets, the Dawn Diva that be up. I think in what is it? August. I think I'll be in the Dawn Diva issue.
Okay.
A few other ones too.
Okay.
We got a few other there. We also got Just Those Mixtape Awards that's back in American Thug, the mixtape.
Right.
We got full support from them, so we going in the studio to get that up off the ground.
Well, you're definitely doing your thing, because if you guys notice here, he's actually doing a lot. You have all these magazines here right now. You got Feds, all right? You got Sweets, a couple of other magazines here. A lot of people are writing articles on this guy is because his story's real, and a lot of people want to hear no. Obviously, as you could see, he's wearing a bulletproof vest. It's probably because he's scared of me, because, you know, rumors about me that I'm kind of a tough guy and a gangster, so you're cool, man. You're good, yeah. So it does get hot in here, but there's a reason why he's wearing this. It's not for just a publicity stunt. It's because
It's not publicity. It's just the fact that when you was doing negative and you start doing positive, you can't forget about the negative. Just because you forgot about any problem that you had in the past don't mean the person you did it to did. You know, I'm glad that nothing's happened to me so far and I don't got no problems, but I do get warnings. I do get threats, and it's coming from doing good. You know, people hating or whatever you want to call it, jealousy or whatever. But I got a daughter that I need to get home to every night, so I got to make sure I'm straight.
well, you know, it's funny you say that. Last week, Mark John Jeffries was on the show. And by the way, give it up to Mark for being here last week. Mark actually said that in his field, most people, the haters, go after the people that are doing right things. And just like you, and it's not that they don't want to see you succeed, but they want to see you fall. Right? And unfortunately, you have to wear something like this because of what you've been through. But even though this is bulletproof, this right here is proof that if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. So Ike, it's definitely an honor to have you on the show today, and I definitely see great things coming from you. So thank you, all right? Give it up to Ike Julz. Definitely buy his book, American Thug, and it'll be out hopefully in stores soon, as well as online. And we'll be right back with our next guest, Barry Morgenstein.
Dear mama, I'm caught up in this sickness. I robbed my adversaries, but slipped and left the witness. Wonder if they'll catch me or will this nigga snitch? Should I shoot his bitch or make the nigga rich? Don't wanna commit murder, but damn, they got me trapped. Walking while I'm walking and talking behind my back. I'm kinda schizophrenic. I'm in this shit to win it, cause life's a wheel of fortune. It's my chance to spin it. Got no time for cops who trip and try to catch me. Too fucking trigger happy to let them suckers snatch me. Niggas getting jealous, trying to find my stash. Whip out the 9, now I'm a dime off your ass. Peter picked the pepper, but I could pick a punk. Snatched him like a bitch and threw him in the trunk. The punk thought I was bluffing, but swear I'm nothing nice. Before I take your life, first wrestle with these mics. I listen to a scream. When I was young, me and mama had beef, 17 years old, kicked out on the streets. Though back at the time, I never thought I'd see her face. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place. Suspended from school, I'm scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys breaking all the rules. Shedding tears with my baby sister. Over the years, we was poor than other little kids. And even though we had different daddies, the same drama when things went wrong, we blame mama. I reminisce on the stress I caused. It was hell, hugging on my mama from a jail cell. Who thinking elementary? Hey, I see the penitentiary one day. Running from the police, that's right. Mama catch me, put a whooping to my backside. And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. I finally understand for a woman it ain't easy trying to raise a man. You always was committed. A poor single mother on welfare. Tell me how you did it. There's no way I can pay you back. But the plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate, you all appreciate, you all appreciate.
So, my next guest is no stranger to New York City. You can see his work all over New York, from billboards to MTA buses to pictures all over the city. He shoots a lot of celebrities. He's been known to do things for New York Magazine, Rolling Stone, and New York Times. It's an honor to have him here. I consider him a photographer to the stars. Everybody, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Barry Morgenstein. Barry, how are you doing?
Yes, sir. Doing good.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
So Barry, I've known you for a while, and I'm glad I got you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're pretty hard to get a hold of. So let's go into the passion, well, the man behind the passion. What made you start, like, just to pick up a camera?
Music, honestly.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was music. It was my love for music. I started off as a musician, realized I wasn't very good at it, but I had such a love for it that I was able to start photographing my friends who were musicians, and I just knew I had the eye for it because
Nice.
I had the love for the music, so I was able to feel, you know, the photos, I guess. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so I just kind of found my talent right away.
Okay, what instrument did you play originally?
Guitar.
Guitar?
Yeah, lead guitar.
Do you still play?
Oh, once in a while. I don't have time, but
Basically, when you're depressed, so nobody else hears it, you just play like bad music. You're like, yeah.
yeah,
all right.
not as much because I don't have my big Marshall stack, so it doesn't have the same effect anymore. So yeah, not as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have a studio here in New York,
New
right?
26th Street.
All right. And you've been doing this for how long?
I've been on my own since 1987.
87?
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
give it up. 87, that's a long time. So I know you do have a studio in New York City. How long you been in there?
I've been in this particular studio about 9 years.
9 years?
But I've been in the city probably about 15 years. Yeah,
And
16.
total business in terms?
You mean what type of business?
Like when you started, basically.
What do you mean?
Was it
What's-
around 87, I think it was?
Oh, well,
that
on
you
my own,
started?
yeah, it was about 87, right? Yeah.
So you're talking about, you're going on almost 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, 30-year anniversary photographer, that's, no, seriously,
Just
give it
means
up.
I'm old.
No, just doing a business 5 years in
Yeah.
New York City, like even when restaurants, if you
Right.
don't pop within a year, you're done.
Right.
And I know photography happens to be a very hard industry because especially now, it's flooded with photographers. So
I'm lucky.
Listen, there's a difference between luck and having a skill and people recognizing your passion. And obviously you've been recognized for that. Lucky is just stepping on something and be like, hey, great, I won $1 million. But doing what you do takes a lot of hard work, and that's where the old school values come in. So tell us some of the people that you have shot, because I know a lot of these people that you've shot. So let's get into some of your favorite known people that you just continually work with and you just developed a great relationship with them.
Well, I've had, I guess it's a different variety. I have some of the musicians, some of
Okay.
my idols, Paul McCartney, the Beatles was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Elton John, so a lot of great musicians that I photographed. Miles Davis, B.B. King, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Wow.
So that's really a thrill that I got to photograph some of these great musicians that I love. Some
course.
great actors like Meryl Streep.
Yeah, I saw
photographed.
that. How's she work with?
She was nice. She was quiet. You know,
Yeah?
kind of shy, but she was nice.
She seems nice.
Yeah, she was
And you know
nice.
what's the best? She got what, like 18 Oscars?
Something.
You would think that would go to your head.
Whatever
after
the
a while.
record is, but
Yeah,
so-
definitely.
So no, I've been lucky, and lately I've been doing a lot of people that I really admire, like a lot of military people, heroes that I admire. So of
course.
those guys are really kind of great that I really enjoy working with.
Well, I'm glad you actually said that, that you shoot military and you admire them, because we all admire celebrities, but you want to know something? The biggest celebrity in the world should be military.
I agree.
Because
Absolutely.
they gave up their lives to make sure, no matter what country that you live in, they're giving up their lives to make sure that we have freedom.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to give it up to all the celebrities out there that are military. All the military.
Absolutely.
All right, and it's an honor that you shoot these guys now. Besides the military, I have noticed some big things that you have been doing. Your billboards are everywhere. You're shooting all the anchors from all the news. Now,
Yeah,
I
a
know
lot
you
of
do a
them-
lot of ABC, right? I believe it is,
It's
or-
Fox 5, actually.
Fox 5, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about
But
that.
from different stations, from news stations in New York, yeah. So it's a nice wide variety. So.
But which is great, and it's showing people your talents. Because when people of that stature want to work with you, it not only means that you're good, but you're a good person to work with. Because I've known you for a while, and you're a gentleman. And it's very hard to find, yeah, you're welcome. It's very hard to find people that are that good at their craft, but actually keep humble to what they do. Now, let's get into why is it important? Because we know today everybody loves to be selfie people.
Right.
Love to put photos online and use that as their headshots. But they don't realize how that can affect them in the business world.
Absolutely.
Let's explain to them from a photographer's point of view why it is important to get a good photographer to give you a headshot.
Well, these days everybody needs a good headshot. Professionals, whether you're actors, newscasters, corporate people, doctors, attorneys, everybody should have a headshot because it's all social media now. It's about promotion on your website. So nobody's going to take you seriously. You're going to have a selfie. So it's best to have the best headshot
Exactly.
quality that you can get to show that you're a professional. People respect you more.
And you know what? You just said respect. What I do love the fact, it's not that you just shoot with these major people. You have incredible amount of referrals. So when you get a lot more referrals, that tells you about your job.
And that's how I get most of my business referrals.
And I have to go to you soon because I don't have any headshots. All my shots are either from selfies or pictures my mom sent me.
Then you better take my advice. Then.
And I'm definitely going to take your advice, do a little makeup here and there. But do you have any workshops coming up that people can actually do some with you? Because I know you do a lot of things during the seasons.
I have specials, like headshot day of headshots, where it's kind of a lower rate, and I try to get a lot of people in the same day. It's for people who might be on a budget, and I actually have one in New York coming up. It's April 27th, I believe.
Okay.
So, but it's just it includes the hair and makeup. It's a discounted price. So
That's great.
It's for people, maybe actors who are starting out. They don't have a big budget.
Yeah, and
so I try
right
to help people out.
right now, I believe we're getting into a new season with TV, which is summertime as well. So this is great. So you can get a great photographer who's going to offer makeup and hair here in New York City. You can find him at barrymorgenstein.com, and Morgenstein is with an E, not an A.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because I always get that wrong sometimes. Before we go, there's basically a lot of people are learning from you that they need headshots. Is there something about the way you shoot? Is there the way you do with lighting or backgrounds? Is there anything in particular that people should know when they walk into your studio? What not to wear, what to wear? Because obviously I know some people walk in with flashy clothes.
Right, which is exactly what you shouldn't do. It should be very simple, because when I shoot headshots, it's about the face, about the expressions, about the personality.
Okay.
So you don't want to be distracting with any loud clothes, with any writing, with any prints. It's always solid colors. It could be a simple black t-shirt,
Right.
With a v-neck.
Exactly.
You know.
And you don't want to wear logos because
No.
you can't promote
Right.
another company's
Exactly.
logo.
Exactly.
So that's a great advice. So definitely when you go shoot, make sure you're wearing solids. Make sure you're professional. Make sure you're on time. Because we know how people make 4 p.m. appointments, show up at 5:30, and they're like, oh, because I was watching Jerry Springer, so my bad, I was late. But definitely hook up with Barry. Again, barrymorgenstein.com. You can find him all over the place, especially in New York City. Every billboard that you see, buses with the newscasters on it, that's this man's work. And yeah, we're glad to have you on the show today.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you. Barry Morgenstein, everybody. And we will be right back with my next guest, Sobeyra Almonte. Stay tuned. My next guest, I'm real honored to have her on the show. She was recently seen in Pix 11, Dr. Oz, and of course Harry Connick Jr. She's been a homeless activist for a while now, and it's not just being an activist. She has a story that will touch your heart, and she's been doing a lot for the community and has dedicated her life to make sure that there's hope for people that just don't have hope. And I'm honored to have her on our show, as well as her husband as well. I want to introduce you to Sherman Richmond and Miss Sobeyra Almonte.
Thank you for having us here today.
Oh, you are very welcome. Thank you for being here. Your story it touched me in a lot of ways. I can't tell you, but it's not even just a story that we're hearing now. We spoke off mic, and we both want to talk about the real story that you haven't been able to do. Yes. So let's talk about how you started, the inspiration that got you to where we are today.
Well, 22 years ago, I was homeless. I was homeless in New York City. That's the worst things that can happen to you. I became homeless because I didn't want to have an abortion. I was a few weeks pregnant. He found out that I was pregnant, and he suggested me to have an abortion, so I refused. And he told me, you gotta leave my house. He thought that I'm not gonna do it, so I choose to leave and keep my pregnancy. December 24, 1994.
He's talking about Christmas Eve.
Yes. 8:30 at night. Walking up and down from Manhattan to the Bronx to Manhattan, Manhattan to Brooklyn. Sometimes I had to feed myself from the garbage. Sometimes I had to wait for people to throw out, while they was eating for me to go and pick up. I didn't have where to take a shower, no clothes. The first 3 months of my pregnancy, I was on the street.
Wow. Was there a point that, we spoke about that, so you just wanted to just give up?
No.
Good.
No. When I was young in the Dominican Republic, I always listened to my grandmother talking about God all the time. And I saw a lady that even though we didn't have nothing, she always was helping others, always talking about God. And she always used to say, this is not about to see, to be able to believe. This is about to believe, to be able to see. And I'm putting pieces together. That was an angel that God put in my life to prepare me for what was coming towards me. So when I was homeless, I never thought that this dream was for me. I always said, I didn't make it today, but tomorrow is a new day.
Well, you mentioned, Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. That's got to be one of the hardest things because that's about family, being with your loved ones, and somebody dropped a bomb on you. The way I look at it is, put it to you this way, that bomb was probably the biggest blessing that this world has ever had because it gave us you. While people are opening up gifts, they didn't realize the gift that God gave us that day when you became homeless, because what you're doing right now, you're giving people, not even just in the Bronx, around the world, hope. So they open gifts, you're our gift. And the story that, it's amazing. Now besides you were homeless, you also put yourself through school?
Yes. Walking up and down, I got really sick because I was pregnant and not having prenatal care. I got into a hospital, local hospital, and they saw that I was homeless. They helped me to get into a shelter, homeless shelter. Okay. Being there, for me, I was telling Sherman the other night, it was amazing to get to a place where I had a bed.
That's right, wow.
But I also understood that happened to me for a reason. I decided to go and get my GED.
Yeah, congratulations on that. That's great.
Okay.
I got my GED and I had my child. I moved out from the shelter into a permanent housing, and there I became a home attendant. I had 3 jobs to support my kids.
You
and
from the
myself.
DR?
Dominican Republic, yes.
You're not Jamaican? Did you got like 3 jobs? Come on, huh?
Jobs.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
And but I wanted to do more. I wanted to do more. I went to college. I told them what happened to me, and that I wanted to go to college, but I had to work to support my kids. And they told me, guess what? We want to go to school. We're gonna give you a job, and you're gonna be able to work, make some money, and continue your education. Eventually, I got my associate degree in business administration.
Wow, congratulations.
Okay.
Now, you did happen to meet a very good-looking man along the way. Don't be shy, man. You're a pretty boy.
Word.
You're a pretty boy. Now, explain how you two met.
I want to take the honors on. Okay. When I came to meet Sobeyra by a social worker. I was a caseworker at the time.
For her at the time?
No, I wasn't her caseworker, but she was a new client that came in.
Oh, you stole her from somebody. Is that what it is? That's messed up, man.
You was a caseworker.
She came into apply, but first her social worker at the shelter that she was in called my agency, letting us know that they have a client who is in need of help. So my supervisor assigned her case to me, where I had to get her do the paperwork to get her
Right,
her
to get her
first
in.
apartment,
Correct.
Okay.
and
You had to put it through.
I had to put it through.
Right.
That's where I first met her.
It was like love at first sight.
Yes, it was, but the thing is with that is that after all that was done, I lost track of her
Oh,
because the apartment that she received was in a different zip code from what we dealt with, so it had to be sent to another, she had to be
So
transferred to
you
another
basically
agency.
married your stalker. That's what's going on. That's how you found her. And from that, you have beautiful children, right?
2 daughters,
2 daughters. And how
Okay.
old are they right now?
16 and 11.
16.
Wow, okay.
Congratulations. So far we've learned you, God bless you. Somebody didn't at the time want you, and you know what? That was his biggest mistake. But his mistake made you the woman who you are,
Yes.
okay? And you got to meet a better gentleman.
There we go.
Develop a great family, great kids. And on top of that, let's talk about the foundation that you founded.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are doing many great things in the Sobeyra Almonte International Foundation,
Okay.
where we deal with education for the children of the Dominican Republic. We work with the elderly community in the Dominican Republic, and also we do outreach work for families who are in need of food, clothing, things of that nature. We ourselves do the outreach work. We go to these locations, these houses, and see the condition that the families are going through, and we do our survey or evaluation
Right.
of their situation, and we gather these things and we bring it to them. We do this twice a year. We go to the Dominican Republic and we give out food, clothing, things that these people will need.
So basically, not only you're doing here in the Bronx, you give back to your hometown.
Yes.
And obviously, this is something where you're looking to put, obviously, in different boroughs,
Yes,
eventually
yes.
different states. This can definitely catch on. There are other organizations, but I don't think there's an organization, I could be wrong, that actually has a dedication because you actually went through the bottom up. It wasn't something where, and give it up to all the, you know, the charities that are helping people, which is great. I mean, I admire that, but now you said at the time you were pregnant when he threw you out, but you also went through a little bit of abuse during that.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
That even made you struggle even more. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you went to a part when you were pregnant, there was physical abuse involved in that. Okay? And you still overcame from that. And was there a point in your life you're like, you know what, I don't, even though he said I don't want to be with you anymore, there should have been a point, and we all know it's hard to get stuck in a relationship where you don't know where to go. But every woman out there that's being mentally and physically abused, I don't care how much you love your man, you pack your stuff and you leave. All right?
That don't make sense.
Because your kid will have a better life with one great parent than one great parent and one deadbeat parent. Okay? And you need to realize that. Now, with your foundation, your kids help you with this, don't they?
Yes.
Like, this is a family thing. This is not like, come on, Mom, really? I got to do this again? They actually, 3 days a week in your home in the Bronx, correct?
Yes.
You guys cook your food, and then you walk around the Bronx neighborhoods and you give out this food.
Oh, wow.
And everybody knows you guys.
One of the things I did it. When I moved out from the shelter, I commit myself to give out a meal to a homeless person. Because you're out there and it's sad how people pass you by.
They ignore you.
Exactly. Because the day that people know that you're homeless, they assume because you're doing something bad. I was homeless because I didn't want to have an abortion. And by the way, my child is 22 years old and he been in the service for the past 5 years as a U.S.
Amazing.
Like you mentioned before, 3 days a week.
Yeah.
My family and I, we come together and prepare meals at home, and we walk through our community looking for the homeless. So far, I can tell you that we've been feeding between 100 to 150 homeless a week.
Wow, yo, that's cool.
And I'm sure the worst thing about New York City is just like the mecca of homeless people right now, because the economy is horrible or people are just giving up. It's sad to know that we need organizations like you to help people because it's just getting worse. It's great that we have you, but I'm sick and tired of walking out and every day there's somebody homeless. It's in the Bronx, it's in Brooklyn, it's Manhattan, and I wish I had enough money where I can give out every day, because I do give out money a lot. I can't do it with every person, but I think if one person just gave a little, once a day, whether it's a dime, a quarter, a penny, not so much of what they're doing. Just think about it, the million people who cross the subways every day. If a million people gave a penny a day every day, that's $1 million a day. And all you got to do, well, not a penny, because where's my math? You know, like $1. But if more and more people would actually look at that and just give back, you might have a chance to have a lot less homeless in the world. And it will engage on what you guys are doing as well, but actually help you, because you're a charity. Charities always need help, okay? And you're doing it on your own with just a family of 4.
Yes.
Right, 4?
Yes.
Just imagine if you had the family of the world helping you, right? And that's why all these shows, myself, we have you on these shows because we're recognizing that this is somebody that actually cares. Actually cares. And I want to give it up to this lady right here.
Serious.
Right? Where do you see your foundation going right now? Because I know you're working on a lot.
One of the projects that our foundation would like to do in our community at this point is to open up a 24-hour soup kitchen.
Great.
Where the homeless in our community can come.
24 hours now.
have breakfast, lunch, and dinner
Okay.
for sure
Woo.
in our community, because that is one thing that we have not seen in our community while we are walking through it.
And getting people to volunteer at the graveyard shifts as well.
Yeah.
That's probably going
That's
to be the
true.
toughest
It
thing.
will.
You
It
know?
will.
And you want to know something? A lot of homeless people would even volunteer. I mean, if you can actually have that soup kitchen inside a building, and I want somebody to hear this right now, if somebody's able to give you guys a soup kitchen, but not just a soup kitchen, I think it would work beneficial to you if you guys were able to get a building from the city.
Yes.
So, and what I mean is, if you get a building from the city, what about building an apartment complex and then downstairs you have a soup kitchen? Now some of your homeless volunteers will have a place to live and they will easily volunteer to be with you, which I think will be a lot great for you as well.
Actually, some of the actually some of the homeless people that we deal with, they have also asked us to volunteer to give back what we've been giving to them, so they can have some sort of value.
So you had the team there, yeah. Now you just got to find a structure. And I'm sure all these shows that you're doing, somebody out there with a big wallet, or even a city, Mayor de Blasio.
Oh, Mayor. Right, what's up?
One thing I do know with the mayor and the governor, they're always looking for people to help, especially with a lot of these positive things. And I hope somebody's going to see this and realize you have somebody here that's doing it with literally nothing. And if you help them and give them something, you guys are going to make New York City that much better of a place because you're already doing it now. And I'm honored to have you on the show. Honored.
And actually, the meals that we give out, it's not really funded by the government or
No, it's by you.
big business. We're the ones that actually do this with
Wow,
our
come
own
on. They
pockets.
pockets and do it?
So right now, we're still trying to work on that part where the government will play a part in this to help us with, feeding our people in our community. So right now, we applied for a 501(c)(3), which is
Okay.
pending.
That'd be great.
Okay.
It's always
okay.
pending, but I think
Okay.
your organization should get it. And if there's anything that LTC Live and the team can do for you, we'd be more than happy to help.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And guys, give it up for Sobeyra. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. And thank you guys, and we'll be right back after these messages. All right, thank you. Welcome back. I want to thank my live studio audience that's here for me today. I want to thank my guest, Ike Julz, author. I want to thank my guest, photographer Barry Morgenstein, and also to my left and to my right, my man Sherman and Sobeyra for being here today. That's right. Now tune in next week as I do welcome comedian Guy Betancourt that's going to be here in the house. I'm also going to welcome David Bowles of DBBA Entertainment, and of course the legendary Tinker Barfield, who's been known to be the bassist for Luther Vandross, Lou Rawls, Ashford and Simpson, and a lot more to come. And until next week, always remember, if you're not living a passionate life, then whose life are you living? You guys have a good night.